What's up, friends, fans, and fellow readers? It's me, Sylvia Faye, your girl. Um, I'm here showing you my reading journal. I recorded this video several times and I completely forgot one of the spreads, so I'm recording it again all over again because I want it to be fluid. Anyway, so this is my reading journal. It is a Typhossi A5 dot bullet journal. The pages on here are much thicker than my last reading journal, which, as you can see, didn't go so well. I got a lot of these spreads and ideas from some reading gurus or whatever on YouTube, and then one spread from someone who was showing their reading journal on TikTok. So, let's get into it. First off, I got the tabs idea from Aaron Smith for like the challenge tabs, but I figured since I was doing monthly tabs anyway, I might as well do these. And as you can see, I was going with a fairly decent theme. I don't like this cover because it's cloth, but I'm living with it. That is Sagittarius, by the way, in case anyone wants to know. I am a Leo, but I like the way the Sagittarius one looks, so I got this one. Also, it was on sale. So, yeah. Let's the cover page, I guess is what you'd call it. It's my cover page. And I printed off this, and this, but the rest of the stickers I got from Temu. I just looked up scrapbooking and scrapbook journaling and stickers for scrapbooking, stuff like that, and or even stickers for reading journals, because they do have specific ones like that. And that's where I got a lot of these from. Some of these I've had for years. Some of them I just recently got. And I really like how this turned out. I was a little bit impressed with myself. Of course, there's cat hair because I have a void. His name is Archimedes, and he is a pain in the ass, but he's also my child. So, one of my childs. I have an actual child, and he is also a pain in my ass. Anyway, here's my index. I did make, what do they call them? Tip outs? I call them flip outs. For like the genres and for the months read. And you probably noticed the numbers next to them. That pertains to my acrylic markers. My mom got them for me for a birthday present, Christmas present, I can't remember. But they have numbers on them. I don't know if it don't matter. So like November's 23. So when I get into November, I will color with the 23, or 49 or whatever. Same with the genres. I don't know if I can, yeah, 88. There we go. Young adult 88. So it helps me stay a little more organized. That way I'm not like coloring on pages to figure out which color goes with this color. So I just put the number and then I can just look at the number and be like that. Then I have my own system. I have the usual call pile system, and I have what I call the Swain system. which is for spicy books. Is it suspenseful? Was there build up to it? Um, was the writing of the scene good before, after, and during? Because sometimes the writing is trash. Is it arousing? Like, that speaks for itself. Um, was it interesting, or did it interest me in any way? Like, was I waiting for this to happen and then it happened and I'm like, yes? Or, and that goes along with natural, because sometimes romance books or any book will throw sex in there and that has no business being in there. So if I am reading a book and then there's a random scene and I go, this book would have been fine without the scene, then honestly, I use hearts instead of chili peppers. But either way, you take off one chili pepper because it doesn't seem natural. It wasn't, it was just thrown in there because they could have it in there, which is a stupid way to write. And then I have my star system, um, which I use a different mathematics for it. And I will leave a link for where I got that in the description below if I can find it. But I put these tip outs. That way, if I'm doing one of these challenges, like I do have a reading bookshelf, so I can just tip this out. So I can go to my reading bookshelf. I'll do like the main book as the month, and then little embellishments as whatever genre. And this is tipped out, so I don't have to flip back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because that gets on my nerves. Um, so yeah, that is my index. Days read, as of right now, I probably have to X that out. Because it's been, I'm recording this on day 7, January 7th, because I've been busy and stressed and in a creative slump, and I've been in that paralysis state where I want to do stuff but I can't. So yeah, I'm recording this a little late, and then I come to find out what I was going to use to actually record I need to upgrade. So that almost stopped me, but I'm like, you know what, I'm sitting here anyway, I'm gonna record it. So I've got same thing with the numbers for my acrylic markers. 1 to 25, 26 to 50, 51 to 75, whatever. Multiple for this is exactly how it sounds. Like if I'm out and about and I am listening to an audiobook, but I come home and I read on an ebook or read a physical book, then I put down multiple and then however many pages or whatever. And I would equate the time to estimated pages. So yeah. And then I've got my DNF graveyard. I'm actually going to show you what I did in my last reading journal for my DNF graveyard. Because I was actually pretty happy with it. When I DNF a book, I will print it out in, that was a trial run, but I'm going to print it out in black and white and then shape it into a tombstone and then put it on here. Now, for me to actually DNF something, excuse me, in my previous video, as I said, I will give a smaller book, which is 350 pages or less, 3 to 5 chapters, to catch my attention. I will give a bigger book, which is between 350 and 400 pages long and above 100 pages to capture my attention. If it does not, I will set it aside because I am a mood reader. So sometimes I can be in the middle of a book I've been enjoying and then suddenly I don't want to read it no more. So I will set the book aside and then come back to it. And if it still doesn't grab my attention, even when I'm in the mood to read it, then I will DNF it. So while I am fairly strict about my DNFing, I'm also a little bit more lenient than I probably should be. Because I don't want to waste time reading a book that's just going to put me in a slump. Because that's what happened in February of last year, was I started reading I can't remember what book it was that I was reading. Oh, I was listening to A Picture of Dorian Gray, and I lost interest because I was just trying to get through it, and it put me in a reading slump, like, really bad. But fortunately I wasn't the only one, so there was that. And then I've got my reading bookshelf. Do I plan to read this many books? No. No, I am not that delusional. But like I said, I will put, like, January, I'll put the dark green, and then embellishment of whatever genre book I finished. Um, so it will look. Let me fold that up. So it will look similar to. Let me find it. I can't. There it is. Okay, so it'll look similar to how these were, except the main color is going to be the green instead of whatever genre. Because this one I did a genre, which that was a whole type of mess, and the books are bigger, so I don't have hundreds and hundreds. I mean, there's probably 200 something on here. I don't plan to read 200 something books. That's just not going to happen. So, and then reading around the world, I want to branch out. I want to get out of my comfort zone, and I want to try reading something from other places and other perspectives. Because I am American. I mean, you can hear it in my tone and voice and all of that. So I want to break free. You're welcome. And I figure if I'm reading books that are just from Americans and just from the US, then I really need to get out of my comfort zone. So I do have a lot of books from China, from India, stuff like that, where the authors are from these places. Because I want to branch out. I want to expand my reading outside of what I know. So, yeah. And I got my reading line graph. This idea came from Kari at Ex Libris Kari on YouTube. And what you do is you got your books read, pages, number of pages read, and then the months. So it's like a double line graph. And, like, let's say you read 3 books, but you've read 3,000 pages. So you got one dot up here and then one dot down here, or a star or whatever. And then they just crisscross. So you know, even though I read so many pages, I only read this many books. Or you can do it like this. I only read this many books, but I read this many pages. So you can either be proud of yourself or put yourself down. Either way. Either way with this. Um, so yeah, I look forward to this a little bit. Um, I am a bit of a math nerd, so yeah. And then this spread. I am so happy with this one. This is one of my favorite spreads. I'm still giddy about it. I was gonna put the books down here, but I'm glad I put them up there. So I was gonna put mushrooms here, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. It just it looks so good, and I'm so happy with it. I would lick it if I wanted to. Um, yes, I'm one of those weirdos. Let me fix this because that was bothering me. Anyway, um, these series are mostly series that I either have the first book of or I have the entire series. Except for the Stormlight Archives, the Dresden Files, and the Zodiac Academy. And the only reason these are on there is because I have had several people say, this is good, this is good, this is good. So I'm putting them on there. Now, to be fair, I did start reading the Dresden Files when I was like 16, I think. I only got through halfway through book 2, I think. And then I stopped reading. But that was like in 2006. So he's got a few more. Werewolf, one of my favorite series of all time. The author does some really bold stuff with the main character, and I cannot recommend it enough. There's no romance. It is a new take on werewolves and werefolk. So yeah, if you get a chance to read it, it's pretty good. I started reading Fablehaven. I read the first book, but I don't think I was in the mood for it because I didn't like it. So I'm giving it another shot. Left Behind series, I have all the books. I think. If I don't, I know where to get them. That's an omnibus. That's an omnibus. That's an omnibus. My mom has been trying to get me to read the In-Depth series for years now. And I finally found a bunch of them for her because she used to have the entire collection. Except for like the last 10, which don't care, don't make sense, doesn't matter. So now I've got several of the books myself. They are not. One thing that the In-Depth series that a lot of people that read it recommend is reading the first book. Or like the first couple of books in order, and then you can just read them however. That's how my mom described it anyway. They are, from what she's described it, they sound hilarious, and I do really want to read them, so I am looking forward to them. Dragon Age, I do have this entire set. I am a gamer. On top of that, I am a huge Dragon Age fan. So much so that I actually have the book Hard in Hightown. Yes, they did make it into a book. I was excited about it and I bought it. It is very, I think I gave it 3.5 stars or 4 stars, but because it is very predictable, it is very mid tier, what you would expect from a mystery book, from a murder mystery. So it was pretty good. Considering it was based on the game, the book from the game, it was really good. But yeah, I have the entire Dragon Age series. I plan on getting into that. Um, so yeah, uh, I was really happy about this spread. This one is very blah compared to the rest of the spreads because it's just Goodreads monthly challenge and buzzword challenge. I will leave links to these in the descriptions below. Um, we already have our January one. I didn't print it off because I need more ink for my printer. But it's called The Bell Jar. And that I started reading it. I don't know if I'm going to continue reading it or if I'm going to set it aside and just read what I want to read because, you know, life's too short. Um, but if I do read it, I will make a review on it, like I plan to with everything I'm reading. Um, so yeah, that is The Bell Jar, already determined. Um, links will be in the description. This is from Storygraph, the Buzzword Challenge. Um, I go with one specific person, but there are several people that do buzzword challenges on there. There's also like cover challenge, um, theme challenge, genre challenge, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So if you don't want to do a buzzword challenge, there are a lot of other challenges on Storygraph. Okay, reading prompts. This is going to be more if I'm in a reading slump and I want to read a book or need to read a book. Excuse me. I'm going to take a D20. I wish I had my purple one, but I just got the green one, which is fine. Um, and that's why there's only 20. So I can roll the dice, two, person on the cover, and I look for books that have a person on the cover. I don't know if I'm going to mark them off so I don't have to do them again. I might not, since this is supposed to help me get out of reading slumps and stuff. So, yeah. Um, and that's what that one's for. And then my popular reads takedown. These are a lot of the books that I either heard a lot about on TikTok, on Book Talk, on whatever, or they were on the popular books for Goodreads or whatever. I do have them labeled. So if I want to read like Icebreaker, I can be like, oh, it's on Kindle and Libby. So I can go to either one of those instead of searching up where can I read this. Um, so I also have them tagged and labeled on my Goodreads TBR. That way, and I did that with my entire TBR, all 1,200 books. That way I can go in there and pick a random book and I can look at the tags or whatever and it'll say whether it's on Kindle or Libby or whatever. And I can be like, okay, cool. And then I just go straight there. I did get Kobo recently. So I have to go through my TBR and see if it's on Kobo Plus, which Kobo's pretty cheap for both audio and reading. So I might just do some stuff on there too. um, but yeah, Blossoms in Winter is my nightmare. I've seen so many I've seen so many advertisements on TikTok for Blossoms in Winter that I actually blocked the author because I was tired of seeing it. Same with the Hello series, block the author because I was tired of seeing it. Same with the Shatter Me series, block the author because I was tired of seeing it. So, yeah. Um, Yeah, it's just Popular Reads Takedown. That's all it is. I am aware that Brimstone is the second book to Quicksilver and that I need to read Quicksilver before I read Brimstone. Maybe, possibly, I don't know and I don't care. The point is, I'm seeing Brimstone everywhere, and she spelled Brimstone wrong, and it's pissing me off. Okay. Anyway, I'm fine. Um, Moving on. This is my quotes page, which I will show you my quotes page last year. So what I do is some of my favorite books from say words are hard. Anyway, I will take the quote and write down what book it's from and what page it's on. That way, if I decide to go back and reread it or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool quote, and then I look at this, I'm like, oh, I already wrote it down. So that's what I'm doing with this one. Last year I had 2 quote pages because I expected to read more, and obviously I did not. So disappoint myself. All right, next one is a reading matrix. I like this spread too. It's so pretty. So basically, I will go through from month to month to month, find out which books have the highest rating, and then instead of doing the book brackets, oh, there's dirt there. Anyway, instead of doing like the book brackets, they will go against each other. So C, A, D, A, E, 1, 2, 3 until there's first, second, and third place. And then I actually have little medals to give them. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this one too. I really like how this spread turned out too. That was one of my favorites. I really like how this entire thing turned out, honestly. All right, and then I got my month totals. Now the monthly playlist. What I do when I read a book is at the end of the book, I will decide, or maybe while I'm reading it, I will decide what the book's theme song is, and then I will put it in a playlist for the month. Um, that way I can go back and be like, okay, or this song was for this book, this song was for this book. I wish I could retitle them, but I can't. And then I've got pages read, how many audiobooks, how many DNFs, 5 stars, physical books, ebooks. And I've just got that for every single month. I like how this one turned out too. This is really nice. Gotta do that. So, yeah. Monthly totals. Okay. Book Tetris. This one is going to involve my genre key. And when I finish a book, I will do a number roll from 1 to 45. And this I got watching Linda on TikTok when she was flipping through her book. The way most people do it is they will do like this, and then they'll do this is for fantasy, or this is for romance, or whatever. I like to torture myself. So these are not allowed to move. I have them sitting how they're going to be sitting. So if I say 1 to 45 and I pick 21, then 21, it stays like that. And let's say I read a manga or something. So 21 manga, so it would be green. Then I would have to find somewhere to put it on here. It cannot move. So that there will be holes. I am aware there are going to be holes in this, but that seems more fun to me. I don't know why. It just does. While I want my spreads to be perfect, when I'm actually doing games and stuff, I want the imperfections. Sounds weird, but it is what it is. And then I've got my book bingo, which I got this idea from Manda over at Manda Made on YouTube. What she does is she will do these reading things, and each of these underneath the stickers are random. So let's say I got a physical library book and I read it. I would have to peel off 2 stickers because these are very thin stickers. This is very thin washi tape. So I read a physical book. I peel this off, and it says that physical book, that would go in N4. So it'll go there. And then, it's a lot closer to playing bingo than if you just put the prompts in the bingo keys. Because I've done that in previous ones, where the prompts are just in the bingo keys, and then all I have to do to get a bingo is to read along the prompts, which feels like cheating. It doesn't feel like actual bingo to me. So I'm doing it Manda's way, and I am kind of looking forward to it because she's done it like this for a couple of years, from what she said. And I don't know if she's gotten a bingo, but I know last year, because she showed us the spread on her channel, that she did not get a bingo. She got close, but she didn't actually get a bingo. So that's going to be fun. And then here's my January start. And I'll do like highlighter to how long each book is, how long I read each book, whatever. According to my Kindle reading, I should be able to read a 200 to 300 page book. Like, I should be able to read like 2, maybe 3 of those in a day. The reason I haven't finished a book is because I wanted to finish my reading journal, and also, I had that creative paralysis, and all of that. So I will be doing the highlighting things, writing the name of the book, and then when I finish it, or if I finish it, if I continue, blah, blah, blah. And then on this side is going to be my monthly statistics. Here, I have a bit of a thing, and I will actually probably put a picture up on the screen of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to have a stack of books that's going to be my 5-star reads, and then I'm going to have my favorite book in the corner. It might be this corner, might be that corner, might be that corner, it don't matter. And then I'm going to have circle graphs of the genres I read in that month, the star ratings, and the format. So it's a full spread of what I've got going on, and if I need to branch out a little bit. So yeah. And then where'd it go? Okay. When I do finish a book and I've done all of the whatever, I got this idea from Lucy over at Little Miss Macaron. And what she did was she made like little flip out books, and she put a collage of things in here that represent that book. Me, what I'm going to do is my review from like Goodreads. And if it only covers one page, then so be it. And then I'll put like a picture or something over here. So it'll sit like that. And then I can flip it out, look at my review, see what I thought of the book and all of that. QR code for the theme song of the book. And I'll put that there, it don't matter. And then I'll have my Copile rating. If there is a spice rating, the spice rating, as well as my star rating. And then whether I read it as a physical book or as an ebook or as an audiobook. So I'm going to have that. The covers are going to be in color, and I am going to print them off on picture sticker paper. So shiny, shiny. So yeah, that's my plan for these. And I got a lot of my inspiration from Jassy Corin, Aaron Smith, and Kari. So I'll leave links to their channels down below if you don't already know who they are. If you do, you're probably already subscribed to them. They're pretty good. I love them. I love watching them. So yeah, that is my reading journal. That's my plan for the year. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. I hope that you have a wonderful year. Last year was horrible for everyone, and it's just seeming to get worse. So I'm hoping that we do better, and I'm hoping that we experience this fun escapism together. So, alright, I will see you guys later in my next video, which will probably be a review of one of the books I'm reading. So, alright, bye guys!
ain't never gonna get me to be tamed. I go insane, you can't detain this beat, yo, and I came to stay, cause girl, I came to play. Everybody on the top got the same sound. Everything I'm about to drop, make a name now. Yeah, y'all don't really know, y'all don't really know. Y'all don't really know, y'all don't really know. Yeah, I ain't never gonna be the same now. I'ma tear up this whole fucking game now. Yeah, y'all don't really know, y'all don't really know. Y'all don't really know, y'all don't really know.